before having taken a bit of damage, but still proved to be a bit difficult. Sitting over in the smoke, looking to poke out. Here's the flashes fly, gets the headshot onto one, has the flank angle. Wicks finds three as the pistol round goes to Apex, people. Zeus isn't ready though for Sound. He's holding in the back with the Sheriff. Headshot does go through. Recon Dark will spot one. Exy playing right outside the Cloudburst. Bulldog shots come in, back-to-back headshots. Sight will fall, and now it is a great advantage here for the side of Neuter. 2v4 for Vision Strikers to try to tie us up in the half. Stacks dropped, finds a second one. Flash out around the corner, redraws his weapon. Will manage to find Lucky, and Stacks is absolutely huge. Gets 4 on the round to tie us up 6-6. Through RB, leaps his way in. Gonna be a bit of a short hop, and as he turns around, Suggest takes him down, manages to find 3 with the hell set up here with the Vandal at range. A 4th kill for Suggest. Does he find? Over the side. Oh, man, RP finds one. Thought he was going to have the collapse. Through onto Solo, knocking him down to 44. And we can see this is why he goes for the raise. He can get those blast pack forward, get himself set up early. Made up over the top, puts quite a bit of damage down. He is completely surrounded. There's nothing left to do. Just give it to him. They do. RP with an ace here in round number 11.
Show me what you got. Back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up, back that up.
No way. No
Time.
way. The player at grass should hear
You
it.
say
but
this. Wait.
No way. No way. Delete the VOD.
Brace is available. They have to go back to that one. Right now, they're pretty hard to meta. Shoot on the beat again. As soon as
Mamma mia! 2名を失っています。さらに羽根がダブルキル。
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Logan. Oh my god, Logan.
Welcome to the Headshot, the show where we get you caught up on all the latest news from the Valorant Champions Tour. Let's get started with a look at some of the best plays from this week's Challengers event.
Are you kidding me? 前半キープ負けちゃいません。エンブレ
時間稼ぎが必要です。
当たっているぞ。
おー、
ドリブルキル。
今の当たり方。
ディープミス。
時間稼ぎ。
噛み合った。
素晴らしい立ち回り。
全楽金。これが最強だ。중간이 있네요 오늘. 와, 뭐죠? 와, 5K. 와, 이거 에이스 나오나요? 잡으면 에이스예요. 에이스. Bundan Apex geldi. Krax. Neler yapıyor Krax?
Energy looking primed for 12, unless someone can absolutely pop off. Is it time for Asuna? Has to clear out showers, wants to try to push, sees the weapon, pops it up for 3. Would have to be an ace. Gets information, finds the 4th, knows where the last player is. Asuna will get at least a halfway in the defusal. Shanks on the opposite picture. Oh my god!
Now let's head over to Latin America to check in with Nags from Crew Esports to see how they've been preparing for Masters.
Hola, hola. Mi camino a través de la Champions Tour ha sido de momentos de alegría y de muchos momentos de frustración también. El torneo está bastante bueno, hay equipos muy buenos en la región. Sí, a mí siempre, desde que jugaba Counter, me gustó jugar de Sniper en el Counter de APE y ahora de Operator. Y encuentro que que Jet es el personaje que más se acomoda con este rol, ya que tiene mucha movilidad, el dash le da el escape para poder hacer pick agresivos y dejar la ronda en ventaja y todo eso. Y a mí siempre me ha gustado como eso, como jugar un poco agresivo, tratar de dejar a mi equipo en ventaja, y encuentro que la Jet es el personaje como ideal para eso. Yo comencé como jugando al principio el Valorant, comencé jugando a otros personajes como Cypher, hasta Sova intenté, y sentía que como a mi equipo le faltaba como esa agresividad al momento de entrar a los sites, como que se generaba como un cuello de botella, y sentía que con Jet podía como solucionar ese problema donde mi ingreso a Group estaba muy emocionado, ya que la organización del Sergio Agüero y hasta mi familia está emocionada. Group siento que tienen un profesionalismo que debe venir como del Kun, que le debe exigir que sea así de profesional. Siento como que él ha estado en muchos equipos y sabe como lo que necesitan los jugadores, el apoyo que es súper importante. De cara a la Masters hemos estado entrenando mucho, hemos hecho varios cambios en el equipo de composición que siento que están dando sus frutos. Cada día nos sentimos más confiados, cada día notamos el crecimiento del equipo. Vamos a poder dar un mejor espectáculo de cómo comenzó el año.
Time to check in on the results from last weekend's tournaments. FaZe Clan took the win this past weekend at Challengers NA Week 3 main event. This is the first major victory for FaZe in quite a while, thanks in part to Baby Bay, who had an outstanding weekend, achieving a peak average combat score of 405 on Icebox against 100 Thieves in the grand finals. With this win, FaZe Clan qualified into the first Masters event alongside 100 Thieves, Luminosity, and Gen G.
Goes for the swing!
Over in Europe, the following teams came out on top in the Challengers Week 3 main event: Guild Esports, Defuse Team, Ballista Esports, and Raise Your Edge Gaming. All 4 of these teams have secured their spot at Masters, defeating teams like G2, Fnatic, OG, and Wave Esports along the way.
CNET takes a 4K.
On the other side of the continent, CIS also completed their Challengers Week 3 main event. Tweezy, GMT Esports, Forza, and Team Singularity made it out of the bracket to claim the last 4 Master slots in the region. In Turkey's Challengers Week 3 main event, these 4 teams took the win. Cyberskull Esports, Rare Esports, Footballist, and Zero Zone. They advanced from here into the first Masters event.
İnanılmaz bir oyun, böyle olmamalıydı.
In Challengers Korea Week 3 main event, Damwon Kia and Apex People took the win, qualifying into Masters along with runners-up TNL Esports and F4Q. Damwon Kia came back in full force after their shaky performance in Week 2, ending the weekend with a perfect record in their bracket.
Wow! 5K!
Nearby in Japan, Reject and Fennel came out on top in Challengers Week 3. They advanced into Masters with Lag Gaming and Bluebees, who tied for 3rd. This is the first major placement for Fennel, who are a new squad that have been on the rise since the beginning of Challengers Japan. Brazil played the second half of their Week 3 main event, where Imperial Esports and Shark Esports took the win for their groups, with Pain Gaming and Slick following behind them. All 4 teams have secured their tickets to Masters. This is a notable win for Sharks, who were formerly known as Squad 5, putting themselves on the map in Brazil for the first time. The final Week 3 main event was held in the Philippines. Archangel came out on top, securing their spot in Southeast Asia Masters. The rest of the region will play their Week 3 main events this coming weekend to determine who else will qualify.
Mondo is huge!
With the final week of Challengers Stage 1 in the books, let's see how each region is stacking up for Masters. Here are the teams that will be playing in NA's first Masters event. If you haven't been following Challengers closely, you may be surprised to see TSM missing from this list. After a dominant year in 2020, they've struggled to find their footing since the start of the VCT. They nearly qualified several times, but ultimately fell short to other teams. This event will feature a variety of talent, from longtime Valorant powerhouses like Sentinels and Gen G, to up-and-coming rosters like Xset and Luminosity.
Photo by himself. Does he have enough time to plan? He sure will not anymore. It's just down to the kills! And Proto, how has he managed to do that?
Europe's Regional Masters event will feature these 8 teams. Many of EU's notable teams have failed to make the list, including G2, OG, Fnatic, and Team Liquid. The drastic shift in Europe's balance of power shows just how quickly the scene has grown.
Integral to this, he's found another. Oh, that's a third.
Teams that were dominating the region last year have begun to fall to the new generation.
He's doing the dance, he's buying them time, and patience is going to be everything. Isolates one, he knows the second, and of course he does it.
Will longtime EU stars like FPX and Ninjas in Pajamas be able to keep up? Tune in to find out.
These guys are playing off ult orbs. Well, that's just pre-nated shit. Whoa, what is that?
Masters in CIS features some very familiar faces for the region, like Forza and Team Singularity, the first and second place teams from First Strike. There's also some exciting new amateur squads in the bracket, like Divinity and Tweezy, who have been making waves in Challengers. The new and old talent of CIS will clash when Regional Masters kicks off this weekend. In Turkey, after just barely falling short in Week 2, Footballist has finally made it into Masters. They qualified in through Challengers Week 3 main event. Footballist has been a consistent top team in the region, but they've placed into the same group as BBL Esports, the undeniable Kings of Turkey, who beat Footballist in the First Strike Grand Finals and have since been undefeated in the VCT. Can Footballist get their revenge, or will they fall to BBL once again? Tune in to find out. All eyes will be on Vision Strikers at Regional Masters 1 Korea. The team still has yet to lose a match since the launch of Valorant, but with the rest of the region slowly improving around them, they may finally face their match. They're in the same group as New Turn Gaming, who gave them some trouble in Challengers Week 2, and Apex People, who have been on the rise since the start of Challengers. Will Vision Strikers be able to keep the streak alive, or will they finally take their first loss? Absolute Jupiter has continued to dominate in Japan and will likely do so at Regional Masters. But there's a number of rising stars in the event that have put the region on notice, including Reject, Lag Gaming, and FAV Gaming. Will any of these squads be able to keep up with the aggression of Laz and Rada? Tune in this weekend to find out. Brazil's Regional Masters is set to be a banger, with an all-star cast of teams. Longtime icons of the region like Gamelanders and Vorax will face off against the new stars of Challengers, Team Vikings, and Furia. So far this year, competition in Brazil has been explosive, and it's sure to come to a head with so many talented teams meeting in one single elimination bracket.
Sensacional!
LATAM North and LATAM South will be competing in 2 separate Regional Masters events. The north side of the region's event is already underway, with stars like Laser Clan facing off against their new rivals LDM Esports. Check out ValorantEsports.com for the results. Over in the south side of LATAM, upcoming teams like Stampede Gaming and Crew Esports will face off against top squads like Weigers Argentina and Australs. Challengers events are still ongoing in Southeast Asia, but here's who made it into Masters so far. Regional 1 Masters SEA will combine all of the sub-regions into one tournament, which is set to begin later next week.
The Sheriff and Hat, Dubstep will do it again and again and again!
Who do you think will take the win at Masters in your region? Let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the action. Thanks for watching The Headshot. For upcoming matches and schedules, check out ValorantEsports.com. We'll see you next week for more updates on all things Valorant Champions Tour.
Wall coming through, so
You know to put up a bit of numbers. CNA just dives on in. This is huge. Knife out, baby. Let's go.
Tiene la gran entrada, la cintura lo rodante. Pablo que intenta entrar al sitio. Estaba marcado que van a cambiar un poco no solo el ritmo, sino la geografía. Van a atacar por el lado de...
Welcome back, everyone, for Valorant Masters Korea. We are now in day 2. I am your host, Chobra. I will be here for all the days of Valorant coming up, joined by Ending Life, our analyst. And we had a packed day yesterday for day 1.
Yeah, definitely. Packed is correct. 2-1, 2-1 for both of the matches. BO3s, I love having BO3s. And you can see at the bottom, Newturn, they almost had it. They almost had it. However, from yesterday's match, what I noticed as an analyst is that they have definitely prepped, well, not prepped, an Icebox compared to Vision Strikers.
Yeah, Vision Strikers, it just has Icebox on lockdown.
Yeah.
Of course, Vision Strikers came up with some new twists as well, especially in those agent selections. They teased it in the interviews before, and they carried it through in that opening match. But of course, following up on that, the other two teams in Group A, we had Apex People versus TNL Esports. Now, this was a bit closer than some other people might have thought as well.
Oh, it definitely was. Like, to be honest, I thought it would have gone 2-0 whichever way. To be honest, like, yeah, I picked Apex People yesterday in the predictions, but either way, it could have been TNL's 2-0. But it went down to the wire, playing all three maps, and TNL Esports came out on top, and this may just be the start of their, updraft. Like, they've been going downhill, but now they're slowly starting to climb up, and this is the Masters. This is the top 8 teams of Korea. So I think if TNL just continues on with their win streak, if it's possible for them to, make it up into the finals.
I mean, of course, their next match, that's a true test for TNL Esports. Being the winners of their first match, they go into the winners match in Group A against Vision Strikers, who, again, is continuing that no-loss streak since the very beginning of Valorant. Now, of course, Newturn and Apex People are not out. We have the double elimination brackets in the groups, so they'll be playing the losers match. But moving on, today we have 4 new teams to look at the bottom of the bracket ending life.
Yeah, we do have MUYAHO versus APE Prince for our first matchup. And this matchup is going to be very interesting. But after that, followed by Damongia Gaming, and we have F4Q, the streamer team. So I think today, as well as yesterday, day 2 is also action-packed. We have interesting games coming up today.
Yeah, it should be a fun day, I think, for sure, no matter which way the results go. Of course, as you mentioned, that first match, we are going to see Team MUYAHO up first, going up against APE Prince. Now, MUYAHO, I think if you had to take a pick out of these teams, maybe has a bit of an edge in terms of just like average skill level.
I think, well, as a team?
As a team.
Oh, I rate them in top 3 of Korea.
All right.
Yeah, so Vision Strikers Newturn up there, and I think it's followed by MUYAHO, previously known as Bear Claw Esports. But this team is strong. Their individual skill, all 5 of them are just phenomenal.
So overall, they're definitely the strongest team, maybe even in Group B, you would say? Okay.
Yeah, I would say hands down.
All right, so high hopes for MUYAHO coming in here for Group B in this matchup against APE Prince. Now, as we're looking at their plays, something that we have to keep in mind is that this team seems to have a pretty good kind of split of division in terms of they have a very clear entry fragger who's picking up the kills, who's making sure they start things off right. But overall, the team is still pretty strategic. On the other side, APE Prince, kind of a team that just likes to maybe draw things out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. APE Prince, their quote-unquote specialty is just using the time, using the clock, letting the clock run. This also is basically a very similar approach that Newturn takes, but that's only, in terms of using the time. But APE Prince, whether they get information or not, they still just, use the time. I almost said waste time, but they use the time up. Newturn, on the other hand, Perry and Solo, they make it, productive. They make their time. They don't waste time. They use their time up smart. But APE Prince, on the other hand, they just like getting their opponent fatigued. They just literally just waste time, make their opponents think, what the heck, what's going on?
Yeah,
and then they just rush it.
Even in the highlights we're seeing, right, generally the highlights we're kind of seeing people with their jets, going all over the place, picking those kills. But most of their highlights are actually kind of that patient play, waiting for the enemy to make the first move and then picking up those doubles, those triples off of those mistakes. So kind of a more of a forced error team, perhaps, here in Valorant Masters Korea. Now, these two teams have faced off before, not too many times, once in the VCT and then once before. So these records do show the history of all head-to-head matchups so far here in Valorant in Korea. Technically, APE had 1 win, but that was like a single map on split. Here for VCT and Challengers, 1 draw.
Yeah, so they both have 1 draw. I think that it's better to go on that 1 draw. That 1 win APE has was from Clan Battle, which was probably months ago. So I don't I don't want to, discount that one win, but in the most recent days, which was like 2 weeks ago in the week 2 main event, it became a draw in the BO2. So I think today is the final day for MUYAHO as well as AP Prince to duke it out to see who actually is a better team here.
Yeah, of course, we're seeing the map score. Like we mentioned, Split was that one map win that AP had, but over on Heaven and Bind, we had a draw between the two teams. Now, MUYAHO on Bind definitely has a strong lead.
Yeah, they definitely do. And yesterday I was kind of referring to like a report card, with this. It's definitely out of 100. And, 80% of B- is not bad, but look at the Split win rate. To be honest, I think MUYAHO may just even ban Split, or if Split is not banned, AP Prince might just pick it to go up against MUYAHO to get that one map win.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty low stat compared to a lot of the other numbers we've seen. Yeah. If teams are a little bit weaker, they hover around the 50%. But over on the other side, AP Prince, now they are that team that hovers around the 50% except for Split. Yeah. So like you mentioned, maybe that has to be the ban over on MUYAHO.
See, the funny thing is, MUYAHO's win rate on Bind was actually pretty good, better than AP Prince. But now AP Prince's Bind win rate is very low, like you said. So I think it's, it's kind of, snake trying to grab its tail. Like one is higher than the other and vice versa. So, it would be funny. But the unfortunate thing for both of these teams are that they're definitely going to ban Icebox. So that one of the two ban card is out on Icebox. So one of the teams will have to play that low win rate map today.
That is true. Yeah, you only have one ban on either side. Now, if we had to pick a team to ban it, though, MUYAHO currently doesn't have a record on Icebox, so probably they'll play it safe, take that Icebox out. And then we're looking at the overall prediction here with the data is that Ascent might be banned out from AP, and then they'll pick the Haven. What are your thoughts?
Ascent and Split are, to be honest, up in the air. It can always, I think the ban Icebox, like I mentioned, that's going to stay. But this is obviously the predictions that you see at the bottom. And I think the Ascent might change into a Split ban, rather.
Okay.
And then we're going to see a Split play, like I said before.
All right.
But to be honest, Bind, Haven, Split is the 3 maps out of the 2 that we'll be seeing today. Those are my
You think
thoughts.
it just has to go that way? Just given the records of the two teams, we're not going to see Icebox for sure, and then probably not Ascend either. Okay, well, we talked about the teams overall a little bit. Let's focus on one player. If we had to kind of key into one player, first of all, on MUYAHO, I think it has to be their entry fragger, of course, in Intro, picking up all those kills.
Well, to be honest, like Intro and Buzz at the same time, they're both the entry, and they're both phenomenal. And I want to also mention that, just keep an eye out for both Intro and Buzz to see if they logged on today.
Okay.
It's LAN, but they still might have their computers off.
Okay. All right. So MUYAHO, what you're telling me is that MUYAHO as a team, all players are skilled. When they're performing, they're at the top 3 of Korea.
Yeah.
But they have to perform. That's a kind of a big if.
Yeah, definitely. And we kind of mentioned Intro like quote unquote entry. Like he's not an entry agent user, as you see his main is Omen, but him and Buzz as well as 10X, they basically just go in at the same time with the paranoia. So basically he's kind of like playing the Omen like an entry fragger with Buzz, and they kind of cover each other's backs, making that crossfire happen. So yeah, we'll see if Intro as well as Buzz have logged on from the start, because usually in the past we've seen Buzz and Intro, and including 10X as well, logging in like 8 to 9 rounds into the first map. So if it's that late, they're going to struggle a little bit.
Okay, so they might have a slow start, and of course, if that drags on too long, it's a bit of a danger zone. Now, on the flip side, for AP Prince, I want to talk about Lawrence. This player for AP might be kind of the deciding draw on whether AP gets a win or not.
Yeah, definitely. Lawrence may be considered that quote-unquote star player on AP Prince because he plays the Jet, because as you see, he gets the frags, he gets the headshots, he gets the left clicks. So yeah, Lawrence is also another player on AP Prince, just like Buzz, Intro, and 10X on MUYAHO. He also has his ups and downs, and it swings and it varies on every single map. It's not a day, unfortunately, for AP Prince. So Lawrence has his maps, has his moment, but it could turn off just any time.
All right, so pretty reliant on the performance of Lawrence here. A lot of variance. Now, we just talked about 2 players, but you kept mentioning multiple players on the side of Team MUYAHO. So are you saying that they have more players that they can rely on, even if maybe some of their other players aren't performing as well today?
So the funny thing is, on the side of MUYAHO, I gotta say, all 5 players are phenomenal individually. Their individual skills are just top-notch. Their teamwork, yeah, it's not bad. But when we're always comparing it to like New Turn and Vision Strikers, obviously they have a lot to do, a lot of work to go on. But MUYAHO individually, I think, is definitely above AP Prince. However, there's another thing. AP Prince has Cobra and Halbe. These 2 Sentinel players and Smoke players, they have a lot more experience compared to MUYAHO. So, we got to watch out for them too.
All right, so then what's your pick? If someone's winning today, well, someone has to win. So what is your pick between Team MUYAHO and AP Prince?
I got to go with MUYAHO.
Okay.
Just hands down, MUYAHO. I think it may even be a 2-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because of those individual, fraggers that, MUYAHO has, I think they may just shake things up regardless of, how much strat they prepped. They're just going to out-aim AP Prince.
Okay.
How about you?
I have to go with MUYAHO as well. For me, obviously, relying a bit more on past data, but MUYAHO comes into Masters with a win under the belt here in the VCT, whereas for AP Prince, it was all draws, and they were all really close games. So I feel like that indicates not that, they were able to really hold their ground, but they were barely eking out those W's to get into Masters and to get into those top 8 teams. Well, that is going to be the first match. We here at the analyst desk, of course, will be back for match 2, but for now, it's going to be match 1 of Group B between Team MUYAHO and AP Prince coming right up.
We need structure for these youngsters. They all pumped up, pushing dumpsters. See a cop and rush them. We need change, but we all flustered. It's been this way since they call us color. For about 10 summers.
I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, that smile's gonna be the end of me. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, and that smile's gonna be the end of me. You cannot lie over a Mai Tai. You cannot lie over a Mai Tai. You cannot lie over a Mai Tai. Let's check each other out. You cannot lie over a Mai Tai. You cannot lie over a Mai Tai. You cannot lie over a Mai Tai. Let's take each other out. Let's take each other out. Let's take each other out. Let's take each other out. Let's take each other out.
What is up, everybody? Valorant Masters Day 2 here in Korea starts now. I'm Tasteless. Joined with me is Artosis. And I think tonight's going to be a very special night. We've passed the first phase out here in Korea. We've gotten rid of the weaker teams. And over the next, I guess, about a little bit under 2 weeks here, we're going to be deciding who's actually the very best out here.
Yeah, there's still teams to eliminate before we get to that champion team. Is it going to be Vision Strikers again? I don't know. Maybe.
Could be.
They had a close match yesterday, Tasteless.
Great games yesterday. If you missed the VOD, definitely check that out. Of course, Valorant out here, so new in the world, but also in Korea. We're going to see if it's the old school Counter-Strike teams, like you were mentioning earlier, that might be out here to dominate, or if it's going to be some of these younger and newer teams, like the ones we have today.
Yeah. Very much looking forward to today because these are kind of like the younger, newer teams, as you said, right? We don't have those 30-year-old plus guys involved with these teams. So, you know, the young talent going to be fighting it out. We've got a great intro there from Ending Life and Chobra. What do you think, Tasteless?
I mean, I think the analysis was on point, and I think MUYAHO should be taking this. I think the question is it going to be close or is it going to be one-sided? You know, the teams that were very strong out here in Korea, we've kind of seen the least of, right? They're the ones that qualified immediately. So coming into this now, you know, those teams have had time to improve more and innovate more. Obviously, we're going to know when the matches come. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think tonight is actually not going to be as close as last night. I know that this is probably going to shock a lot of people, but I actually think we're going to have more one-sided matches tonight overall.
We've seen a lot of APE prints here. They are looking strong. They looked a little bit bumpy, you know, in the first few casts that we had of them out here in Korea. But I think, like we were mentioning, you know, some of these teams don't quite have the experience of the pressure on a, you know, big event like this, and so we'll see how they do this time around. So you can see now we're in the second phase here. Valorant Challengers Korea is done. We're now in day 2 of Valorant Masters, where we have thinned out the lineup to only the very best of the best out here.
Yeah, the best 8 teams are still in it. Of course, it is a double elimination bracket, so no worries if your favorite team gets eliminated here today. They aren't completely eliminated, just in that loser bracket.
We're just laying out the groundwork for where the brackets are going to be going. As you said, yeah, no one getting eliminated yet. Everybody's still got a shot, although it will be an uphill fight if you are knocked out right away. I will say, coming into this and, you know, basically expecting Vision Strikers to be overwhelmingly dominant, I'm happy to say the competition does look quite fierce, and it is honestly, for many of these matches in our brackets, very hard to call.
Yeah, I think that it is, and it's hard to really compare these teams to each other because there's still so much room for growth, and all the teams are changing a lot. We've seen in just the past couple weeks a lot of players switch what types of roles that they have within their teams.
Right.
And I mean, some of the switches have been as different as you can get. Like, what's more different than entry fragging Jet and Cypher? Well, one of the teams that we're going to be casting tonight had that switch occur, right? Where it's like, oh, you're supposed to be like the defender, and now suddenly you're the #1 attacker on your team. So the teams are still really kind of finding their way through this, and I think that that's going to make this particular Masters more volatile than probably what we'll see in the next 2 this year.
And I think this is the nature of a beast. Whenever whenever you're in this phase of an esport growing. I mean, we've already had even shuffles with players on teams right away.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
We're still getting everything set up. As you can see in Group A, Group B, some amazing teams for us.
Indeed. We had Group A yesterday with Vision Strikers 2-1 over New Turn and TNL Esports 2-1 over Apex People. Today we have MUYAHO against APE Prince, and Damwon Gaming Kia against F4Q. I'm excited, man. I've really grown to like all these teams as well. They've all got their own personalities.
They've got their own personalities. They've got their own play styles and histories, or sometimes lack thereof, as some of these guys are very new. Damwon Gaming Kia, definitely high expectations for this team out here in Korea. This is one of the other main teams people were looking at and saying these guys could absolutely take it all. They had some bumpy moments early on here, but they did manage to pull through. They're here now in the Masters level of Korea. And I would say also, I think they are probably the favorite here against F4Q. F4Q, of course, a streaming team.
Yeah.
They are each independent content creators that collaborate to help build their own brand. And that's a very different narrative than a professional pro team with a high-end Korean sponsor such as Kia.
Yeah, for sure. Well, here are our results from last night. Again, if you didn't see that, go check it out. Very long night last night with some great matches in there. I got to tell you, I'm really feeling for New Turn because I actually think that this is the second best team in Korea, and they just keep having to play Vision Strikers. They get drawn into the group all the time. They keep playing them. They keep barely losing. It's kind of silly to see them in the losers match because honestly, I think they should make it to the finals, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. And you know, New Turn here, I think we had a big question mark next to them coming into this tournament, and the fact they are able to hold their own against Vision Strikers is very exciting.
Yeah. It's super cool to see. I can't wait for that winners match either. TNL going up against Vision Strikers. That's going to be really fun because, well, TNL has felt a little bit lower ranked for sure than some of the other teams like MUYAHO and New Turn. In my opinion, they don't seem as good. But it's the one team that Vision Strikers actually named as like, if someone's going to beat us, it might be them.
Right. And of course, that losers match, new turn in Apex people. I'm really looking forward to that. No matter how you cut this, it's going to be exciting rounds.
Group A is really, really stacked.
Yeah, very true. You know, F4Q here against Damwon Gaming Kia. I mean, I think F4Q could have a chance. I am having a little bit harder of a time placing them exactly where they are. They do seem to be perhaps the weaker team. Out of the group. But
I think that they're the 8th best team in the tournament, but they have some all-stars on their team, and they have less pressure than the other teams.
That's right. And I think, and to go with that, they have a lot of confidence in general.
Yeah.
A lot of these other teams, there's a lot of pressure they're putting on themselves. Out of all the teams, frankly, I think F4Q is enjoying themselves the most.
It seems that way.
It seems that way, right? So, it is going to be best of 3s here. We're going to start with MUYAHO against APE Prince. We will have a tiny break, and then after that, Damwon Gaming Kia versus F4Q. We are in the best of 3 phase here of the tournaments, so I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to this. We're going to actually have the map picks and bans laid out here.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see, can we finally get an Icebox match, you and I?
We have not casted on that map yet. You casted one game, right?
Yeah.
On the day
last night they played it twice. It's like, what is my luck here?
Yeah.
Give me some Icebox.
Well, I have never got to cast on it for whatever reason.
Dude, yeah, no.
I'm going to make this about me. It's somehow when my presence here stops the Icebox map from coming.
You know how good I am at standing behind that yellow thing with Sova? Oh, dude. All day. Recon bolts coming out trying to figure out where you are.
Tell you what, though,
if you're a Snowman, I'm going to know Tasteless while I'm behind yellow.
Snowman,
man.
I know exactly where that is on the map. Thank you very much. Now, the fact that we could very likely have a third game, I think there's a chance we're going to get not just Ascent and Bind every time.
Well,
unless this is as one-sided as you believe it will be,
nice.
Artosis.
Really liking Split lately as well. Been having a lot of fun matches there.
By the way, we do have the players down here in the studio, which is very exciting. As we're slowly, not just us here, but the world recovering from COVID, and things are eventually, thank God, going to be back to normal. We did all of Challengers Korea with the players playing from their home. Now the players are here. We can't have audiences yet. No one has been to this new studio that we have here in Jamshil, but it is amazing. And one day when the world is more open, we hope you can come down here and attend our events live.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Sad that we haven't had anyone in here yet, but you can see how badass is that right there.
How red is that background?
It is incredibly red. Red and purple, you don't see those two colors together as much.
Not as often.
I'm digging it, though.
I like it. Yeah, but we got a huge studio out here. Very exciting stuff. And so the players are now here. Now, again, some of these teams have not had the long history of competitive tactical shooting playing under this kind of pressure. So this could also be a little bit jarring for some of our teams here who were playing from their homes or their team houses.
That's a good point.
Where things can be much more comfortable. I think the highest level of discomfort a player can have is the live audience, the cheers, that kind of energy level you're around. But I do just want to point out for this tournament that really is just all, it's like a hub in the big wheel of all the Valorant tournaments as we're going to decide who's the best. This might be a bit overwhelming for some of these guys.
It could
be back in this environment.
We're gonna see very quickly who can't stand the pressure of being there live.
Yeah, so if we see any jarring inconsistencies with play, that could be this. In other parts of the world where things have not opened up as much, you don't have this story yet, but I do want to point this out. In this region, this is where we're at right now. We can all collect together here at the Jamshil studio and play.
Yeah, it's so nice to see the players here as well. Here's APE Prince. Yeah, I think this is quite a strong team as well. We've definitely had some great games out of them overall.
And this is one of the teams we got to see, frankly, a little bit more of. They weren't escaping out of challengers immediately, so we got to really sit and reflect on their gameplay. And
we got to cast them in the qualifiers a little bit as well.
Right. And so, again, a strong team. I do worry they are perhaps outclassed by MUYAHO. MUYAHO, also known as Bear Claw.
Yeah. Formerly Bear Claw, now MUYAHO.
If you were watching a couple weeks ago, that's the same team here.
But I do tend to agree with you. MUYAHO feels to me like a team that hasn't really been tested yet. They've avoided Vision Strikers. They've avoided New Turn. But I feel like they're the one team where I'm not entirely sure, are they that level? Or are they just better than everyone else, but not that level?
Yeah, that's...
Because I do look at this group, and I think MUYAHO is going to run away with this group.
There is a real chance of that, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, even Damwon, which I really love Damwon, I feel like MUYAHO is really super strong, man.
Taking a closer look at the selected MVPs here for MUYAHO and APE Prince, we have Buzz and Lawrence. No surprise here. It is Korean Jets once again for the MVPs, although we have seen more and more Reina in the past couple of weeks here, so there's a chance that Lawrence can go on point being an initiator here with Reina. You know, if Reina can take the first couple fights, you can a lot of times really snowball progress.
I'm hoping to see some Reina here tonight for sure. Yeah, I mean, Buzz, I think, is actually, like, he's very, very good. He's kind of the star of his team, I guess, because we are showing him here. But I think actually he's a bit underrated in Korea as well. Like, for the fans that are watching, there's no real buzz around Buzz, but, like, feels like there should be.
I would agree with that.
It's one of those players where, you know, I think a lot of people just talk about, like, Vision Strikers, right? Or maybe a little bit of some of these other teams, New Turn and whatnot.
Or you get these teams like F4Q that are just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because they are memeing the entire time on camera. And I think that's where MUYAHO, I think, has a great opportunity to come out and dominate and simply flex by actually winning here. You know, a Vision Strikers, and it makes sense if you look at the background and who's on the team. They have occupied a lot of the, I'd say maybe the first half of the challengers, just the conversations we had, and of course the games that these guys came from with these older players. This is a thing we're seeing not just in Korea, but in NA and EU and other regions in the world as well, as the people that are grandfathered in from these older tactical shooters. We expect the most out of them, but there are always these younger, newer players. Maybe they never played Counter-Strike. Maybe they played a little bit of Overwatch or something like that. Much different than Valorant, of course, but then they come into a game like this and can dominate, and so that's really where we're at.
Well, you can see the predictions. Every single commentator thinking MUYAHO is going to go through.
They put our scores down there?
They did not put our scores.
So let's just talk about what we thought. I said 2-1 for MUYAHO. You said 2-0.
Yeah, when I saw you type 2-1, I knew I had to go 2-0 because 2-1 is so cowardly. You're like, I don't know, all the teams are good.
Just hope we have as many games as possible.
Nah, it's a 2-0 for MUYAHO. I honestly think they're going to crush through this group. But we'll see. We are in this live audience. Well, there's not a studio audience.
There's lights and cameras.
Yeah, there's referees and cameramen and there's
casters shouting.
There's 2 cleaners that work here, so they're walking around watching some of the games.
They're picking up garbage. It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to take in.
One of the interesting things you can talk to about pros, though, is how do they feel in environments like this? Again, these guys are playing inside of, basically everybody was inside of a small apartment building. Playing in the comfort of their own computer chairs, their own PCs. And so some of the pros I talk to, you know, the anxiety comes in, tunnel vision can happen. With other players, they thrive off of it. They play even better. They know how to harness that adrenaline and channel that into focused, perfect play.
Yeah.
And so again, we just want to throw that out here because it can be a factor. And this is one of the unique things about the fact that we're dealing with Corona here now and eventually overcoming it. So anyways, on to the maps here. So Icebox is banned by MUYAHO. Split is banned by APE Prince, which leaves us with Haven, Ascent, and if we do go to map 3, Bind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not super surprised. We actually haven't seen Haven in a while, like you and I casting. I know this last week we didn't actually get to cast like basically any Haven, so cool to see that back. Yeah, the players who selected it also will begin attacking. And yeah, let's see how it goes, man.
And you know, with the Icebox ban, Icebox being the newer map in Valorant, this is also a common theme in a lot of the Korean esports meta in general, is trying to avoid the newest and instead play on the practice and most tried out map.
I mean, eventually there has to be another map, right? So eventually we're going to see Icebox play.
Eventually there'll be a new map, and then in Korea we won't see that map either. But Icebox will come in, and that'll be kind of novel.
yeah. It'll be fresh for us for casting at least.
We've had this in StarCraft where they add new maps in and then the players just ban them and we go back to the maps that are more common. Looking at MUYAHO here now, seeming confident in spirits.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think they should be. They have done very well so far in the tournament, and again, most people agree that they kind of got the weaker of the two groups and do look like the strongest team overall in the group.
That's right.
Sometimes stuff like that can actually add pressure to you.
Sure.
Like, are they going to come here and play out of their minds and crush through? Or could they possibly choke?
We're going to be going to the agent selection here shortly. We've had definitely a meta out here in Korea that's shifted ever so slightly compared to the other regions globally. But, we've had teams that seem to just pick the same agents no matter what the map is.
Sometimes, yeah.
And then we've had teams that not only shift in agent selection based off map, but even, one player will play a completely opposite role to what we're used to seeing in that agent switch here.
All right, looks like we are getting ready. Let's get their comms up.
Exciting moment here for these guys. Again, nobody's going to be eliminated today. Players will go up to the winners and others down to the losers, but so many weeks of leading up to this moment. We're now here in that moment. How about that keyboard, Artosis?
Dude, he's got a lot of lights on that keyboard.
Look at that. You could help land an aircraft carrier with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just look on the ground. You're going to see my keyboard.
You could talk to aliens like in Close Encounters of the Third Time with that keyboard, man. No problem. You kidding me?
And so we're moments away from that agent selection. And it will be on the map. Haven, of course, if you guys have been following Valorant for a while, Haven unique in that there are 3 spike sites. Although the B site is not planted at nearly as much.
Yeah, that's definitely been something that we've noticed. Well, maybe that'll change. Who knows? We haven't seen it played as much out here, so the meta evolves on these maps as well.
It does, yeah. We've had some switching here with agents in the overall the overall meta here in Korea. We've seen Sky.
Sky's been popping in.
We've had Viper pop in. Viper was picking up a little bit more in other regions. We don't know if that's the Koreans reacting to the other regions so much.
I think out here, though, Viper has a pretty poor win rate so far.
Yes,
hasn't
that is
been
true.
that strong. Even though it has been picked up more.
Well, there's definitely some very strong ideas that can be used here with Viper. Again, agents very commonly selected. We have Jets, Sovas, Breaches, Omen.
Omen and Jet are like almost completely standard.
And so now we go to the agent selection here. Immediately we have a Sova and Jet lock in for APE Prince. No one's locked in yet for MUYAHO. Killjoy taken for APE Prince, not a surprise. His lockdown is very strong. We do have this funny little mini game going on of the Killjoy lockdown, only to be countered by the Hunter's Fury from the Sova, and I'm sure we'll be seeing that as a theme here today. There is the Breach and the Omen to lock that in. Alternatively here from MUYAHO, we have the Cypher as a unique selection. We may still have the standard 4-stack of the Breach, the Sova, the Jet, and the Omen like we do oftentimes see here in Korea.
Yeah, that's a very popular 4-stack, and then the only difference between the teams, of course, Killjoy versus Cypher. And I don't know. Is there like a composition that you like more here?
Well, I think a Cypher maybe I like a little bit more as a pick here. I think that, as mentioned earlier, the enemy team's Sova can just counter the Killjoy's ulti. Obviously, Killjoy has some great utility. Cypher, you can certainly lock off A or C if you can get the right setups, cover a certain amount of ground. Offense or defense, I think Cypher also great if you're going to catch a site and then try to control it.
Yeah.
Guys, our game is ready. This is going to be on Haven. MUYAHO versus APE Prince here in Valorant Masters Korea. Let's go.
building's on fire, Tasteless. I just had this idea for a hero, right?
So somebody wins before this place burns down.
Dude, you know how Phoenix throws fire? Like he'll throw fire that's on the ground or the curtain. Oh my God, we're just going right into it. Hold on, going right up a short immediately. Buzz jumping up on top after the blind, getting a kill immediately here. Lawrence with 2 on Ghana and Buzz though.
Spike is dropped right now in a short. The Cypher is picked off immediately. Lawrence and Cobra are taking out Halbay. Kills off 10X in an extremely fast-paced round.
Yeah.
And a narrow victory there for APE Prince. Down to the wire.
Yeah, we just nailed right through there pretty quickly. Okay. Let's get it started.
Now going into the second round, we usually expect the team that was victorious in the pistol round to probably take the second victory there.
Well, APE should be feeling pretty all right then. Lawrence actually very, very close here to having that ulti up.
All right, immediately we're seeing the push here once again from MUYAHO. Going to try to come in once again here onto the A side. Similar initiation as the jet pops up. Lawrence just hiding inside the cloudburst, gets the shots down there onto the breach. Lawrence then takes out Buzz. 10X with the kill onto JoJo. Spike is planting, halfway finished, and it is completed.
Okay, well, it is planted, but I guess they're just going to go ahead, kill them all. Thrifty, Tasteless, thrifty. Intro with 3 kills there at the end.
And a beautiful reversal there, 1-1 now. Getting the spike plant and bouncing their funding back into real relevance here.
All right, you see the teams getting a little bit vocal there, their teammates. Completely different interface than what we've been casting all season, huh?
Yeah, I definitely like the improvement in the interface
Yeah,
here. I
it's
think there's
kinda
more,
cool.
I think just for us as casters, there's more immediate information here for us and for people at home.
Yeah, yeah.
You
There
can
definitely
see-
is a lot more information on it, which is really cool.
Okay, in this next round, we don't have a dive into A just yet. It seems like we may have a pick up here into mid towards Garage. Cypher planting a camera down there. The Omen's going to be hanging back over here outside of C long. I think they're waiting to see if perhaps MUYAHO will overextend, peek out. They have plenty of time on the clock. They're probably going to run that down and try to slowly push into A, it appears, and see whether or not anybody's there. I mean, it is a bit of a balancing act to cover 3 spike sites, and it does seem like MUYAHO is, APE Prince is pretty confident that they're going to be attacked into over by Garage. And they're actually going to be pushing out now. They don't see anybody yet, although the Cypher camera should have spotted the jet.
Yeah, yeah, and they're actually running through now towards A. I think they realized that A was definitely under-defended. And getting in, Buzz going down to hell, throwing Cloudburst near the door.
Okay, they're halfway into A now. And it looks like they're going to get the spike plan out before any real initiation is going to go down. Still a 5 versus 5 now. Jet getting the first kill there on Ghana. Buzz, the double kill on Lawrence and JoJo.
Yeah, Buzz being an absolute killer here. 3 kills already. Guarding that door. Another covering heaven. Beautifully done. And they are going to go ahead and pick that up. MUYAHO, I mean, they lost that very first pistol round. It was fast. It was furious. But to win the next round and then the round after that?
This is an unusual tempo here from what we're used to seeing in Korea. Most of the games in Korea, and this can be true in other regions as well, is the team that wins the pistol round wins the next one, and then the other team will win the third round as they have a superior amount of funds to buy their way back into the game. And then there's a bit of a back and forth from there, but very unusual pacing. Again, that first round, though, it could have gone either way. It was down to just one player remaining there, getting the kill. This time around, different approach. Going to be a very steady push here into A, but completely denied at A short, A long. We're going to see if they can stop them there. Although it's a bit of a bottleneck to try to come through in this area. Flashes go down. JoJo kills Harry Slash to intro. Slash also takes out 10X. And 2-2 now.
Some heroic play there from JoJo. He actually even got paranoid for a moment, but came around the crate the other side, threw out his blind, and the rest is history. So tied up 2-2 now.
Definitely been a concentration onto the right side of the map here as far as spike planting. It does make sense that, with the Killjoy on the defending team, the utility and traps she can set up, it can definitely sandbag pushes that come in there trying to seize a site, trying to plant the spike. And I think some of these little back and forths we're seeing here is them trying to identify which side the Killjoy's on, possibly attacking the other one. But in this time around, going to be yet another rush.
Oh, Lawrence was waiting, but Buzz pops around the corner, gets the kill. Slash, though, with the revenge, getting Harry as well.
Okay, A site is theirs. 3 more players from APE Prince are going to try to come pushing into heaven here.
I love intro waiting.
Okay, you know, in an area that narrow, they were able to just fire through there, get the kill. The turret set out here to peek. Does not see anything just yet.
And Rolling Thunder comes through, but doesn't work out. Halbay jumps down, eats some bullets. 10X getting a couple kills there as well. MUYAHO, another crushing victory.
Yeah, I think they played the fact that there was a push into A heaven. I think the attacking team did a pretty good job. They basically stayed back and said, time's on our side. You will eventually have to come down. We don't have to fire at your turret. We don't have to expose our position either. And it was pretty difficult for them to take the game from there.
All right, just looking at that dragon right now.
Yeah, it's a very pretty statue.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It looks, a very talented artist made that for sure. Think that's real metal on that rock?
I don't know.
How'd you get that fitted on a rock? Did you have to like melt it on there? You can't slide it on.
These are the important questions. Yeah. Now this time around, there's a tension on to C. We have intro. Oh, shoulder peek there, but does not catch it.
Throws down the dark cover there on the entrance.
It should be pointed out here. APE Prince is going for a pretty intense save here. It's sheriffs all around here, where the rest of the team is rifled or operated up. And so this is obviously a round that we would expect the attacking team to win, but they really want to win it with a commanding performance. Because when you get this kind of a lead, you want to make sure that you're not having to buy your way back into keeping that lead.
Yeah.
You want to start to really bank up a lot of resources by not losing any teammates.
Now look at this. They actually go through and the alarm bot sets off, showing where they're at. Coming in through the back of C here is APE Prince.
All right, immediately losing Buzz there with a headshot from the Sheriff. Harry comes in here with the Phantom, getting 2 kills, but Cobra takes Harry out. It's a 3 versus 3. Superior firepower for now.
Ooh. Well, Lawrence does get that 1 headshot onto intro, but gets taken down by 10X. 2 against 2.
This is doable right now.
Ghana's pretty hurt, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Yeah, 10X gets taken down, and so does Ghana very, very quickly there.
And a huge victory. Look, they're going to nab the best weapons, get the easy defuse. And, you know, taking that game with inferior firepower puts a real strain right now on MUYAHO. For this distance into the first half, to have the op, to have everybody else with rifles, this is a huge blow. That op is now going to go to the other side. So, again, don't just look at the points here. Think about the weapons that are being gathered up and then pulled over into the next round, and how much of a headache that's now going to be here for MUYAHO.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Do you think they're going to give it to Lawrence?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
They're setting him up on Babox, ready to just kill anyone who peeks out that window. I noticed that pro teams don't really check that window so much on the attacking side.
Yeah.
Probably should adopt that. Normally me and 2 of my teammates poke down. At least one of us dies every time.
Okay, quiet push from Buzz. Knives drawn out here. This is definitely a good time for their Jet to use the ulti. They need to get some firepower. It's going to pull them back. Nice pick here from JoJo. Gets Harry immediately, shooting him down in the back with the Phantom.
Yeah, now we have Buzz down here with that Blade Storm ready and procced. Okay, gets tagged. I love that. Beautifully done. Just sending out that owl drone. Buying a bunch of time. Now, 3 over on A in the defense, but they have rotated. It looks like they're going towards B now.
It's a fairly fractured team right now for MUYAHO. Each player peeking into one area. If any one of them is picked off, they're going to very quickly lose control here.
That was sick.
Go around the corner.
Ghana as he comes around. Oh, no.
Buzz dashes in, whiffs it, and is picked off there. Tough angle to try to take that at Slash, getting the kill. with the Phantom, and now it's just down to intro in what appears to be a fairly impossible situation.
Yeah, it gets taken out pretty easily there by Halbay at the end. I tell you, it's actually a very nice close match. After the first 3 rounds, I was like, oh, look at MUYAHO just flex here, man. Oh, they're taking their shirts off. What's going on? But APE fighting back really well, and definitely that Sheriff round was such an important one, right?
I think for sure that's the most important round of the first half that we've seen so far, because not only did they win being, outgunned, but they were able to bring back 2 expensive guns into the next round.
Yeah.
Really a great economic balancing act there for the team.
Now they've actually set up on B with their Killjoy. Fault line comes down, Buzz eating it. It's fine though, no one coming around the corner.
Lawrence is going to be pushing here with the op. And this is not a bad location for the Omen to hang back in. Not on top of that crate that we're seeing there, but even further back into this corner. There's some utility set up here as well.
Intro backing up, kind of checking a little bit. Opposing Omen on the other side there.
And now we've got the slow creep through a long, with the Al drone going through a short. Doesn't see anybody there just yet. Both popping out of the corner at the same time. Buzz gets a double kill on JoJo and Slash, allowing entry into the A site. The Breach is going to be planting the spike momentarily, with Heaven under control from the attacking team. Really leaving only A short on a 3-team position to try to push in through. I should say defenders A short, really.
Yeah, throwing the lockdown down. Jumps down, Buzz waiting in hell. Picks up the kill.
Lockdown denied. Seems like a pretty impossible retake here for APE Prince.
Yeah, definitely a tough one. And very quickly they take down Halbay and Cobra. Securing that victory, keeping 4 alive.
Yeah, and that means only 4 more rounds for the first half. In other words, the only way this could get close to being one-sided is if one team were to win every round on this side from here on out, make it 8-4. But I don't imagine that's going to happen. This appears to be pretty back and forth. Going into this round, people are fully equipped here as far as weapons and armor go. I mean, people are in very good shape as we get into the later part of the first half.
For sure on that. Those heavy shields all around. See what guns they go with here in a moment.
But let's look at this nice artwork here.
This Buzz staring down through
I like this position here from Lawrence.
Yeah.
You could absolutely just get a very quick pick to anybody even thinking about coming over here towards the A short side, and then, of course, tailwind away.
Yeah, Buzz was actually staring down the mid doors there, which is kind of an interesting thing in case anyone peeks out. I guess they have peeked out of those mid doors a couple times.
It's going to be Jet versus Jet here in a second. Lawrence and Buzz coming around. Fires, does not connect. Maybe a little bit too soon. I think the knee poked out of the corner. Buzz now in the position to basically peek down into A. It's going to be the Jet having to abandon A short as a peak location and is instead rotated into A long.
You know, they've been doing this a lot. They've kind of spread out for a little bit, but now everyone's stacking up over in that A lobby, getting ready.
Oh, that was perfect! Lawrence getting the kill on Ghana, moving just out of the flash there.
Backing up now, has that Blade Storm ready. Ooh, jumps up in the air, goes for that kill.
Okay, up in heaven. 10X firing some shots there, not able to kill the Sova that's actually hanging out in that area. A pretty strained position right now for the attacking side. MUYAHO trying to get the spike plant. The Sova's picked off in the back, leaving just the Jet and no one to defend as it diffuses in order. Beautiful defense here by APE Prince.
Yeah, that was really nice, the flank there from JoJo, just ending it almost prematurely for MUYAHO. It's like, no, I don't want to defuse. I'm just going to knife this box and run by. And look at that. APE with that advantage, 5-4.
Such a close first half here. Again, I like the back and forth of the control of the A short and A long area with the Jets and the Oppers. Now, look at that. Dodging the flash without getting hit, taking out the breach, and then pulling away. Pretty much thinned out enough of the team there that the defenders were able to pick off the remaining attacking team getting that spike plant.
I got to tell you what, Tasteless. This new overlay that we have going on, this new setup, there is so much information here. This is amazing.
Oh, it's a huge improvement. I'm really digging it.
Yeah. We were drinking mud water before with our
I know, we
gas.
were cave
We didn't know
before
anything.
with our overlays.
I have so much information on the screen now that I just want to be like, guys, I don't need to say anything. Just look at the screen.
Ghana got to go with the plan here at C. We have not had very much attention at all at C this time around, but it looks like we were eventually due for one.
I love that. Following the owl drone in after it gets taken out. Kills absolutely everywhere. Only intro left over, and he'll be taken out pretty quickly there as well.
Easy defense there for APE Prince. We finally had an attack on C. Pretty much every spike site has been over at A in this game, so I think we're starting to see why. MUYAHO certainly more confident and definitely having better results with A site attacks, but you know, you hit that many the site that many times, I mean, eventually you're just going to start to see APE Prince over defend the area and start to, you know, things start to get a little bit predictable.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's for sure. All right, we gotta see MUYAHO fight back here, Tasteless. It's 4-6. Don't want to go down that far. They could tie it up still to move forward into that side switch. Now look at this. Lawrence going to peek out.
That was very scary. Actually hitting the hitting the Cypher, excuse me.
Hitting the Harry.
Hitting the Harry. Well, it's true. Hit Harry,
Yeah.
the player, but winging him, putting him down to 30 HP. Again, you know, when you get to this phase of the first half, you've got to be careful to the presence of oppers.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, 1 or 2 op shots, and suddenly your odds of ever invading and pushing anywhere are pretty slim.
Couple shock darts going out immediately once he gets smoked up there in A heaven.
Okay, Aldroin going to come out. Needs to see exactly the position of this.
They have planted. It's a 5-on-5 right now. Harry is low though once again.
Heaven still smoked here. Paranoia coming through the wall. Cyber Cage is set up here as well. This is going to be a very, very difficult A site to reclaim.
Tell you, yeah. Okay, here comes the Rolling Thunder. Good move right there. Let's see if they can get in and actually capitalize right now. And actually, they've only taken out Harry so far, but come around, get Buzz. Down goes Intro and 10X as well. Ghana falls. And they are going to get that defuse. APE Prince looking strong.
Yeah, stronger and stronger as each round passes. I mentioned earlier, it's possible for it to go 8-4, and that's about as one-sided as it could be, considering how close it was as we started the first half. But it seems like APE Prince is in great form. I think they've caught on to the fact that, as far as we can see so far, MUYAHO only has success in A site. It's not surprising they're not going for B. We don't see that often in Valorant anyways, but the C site has, I don't know if it's been neglected or they strategically chose to try to opt out of going to that. But, yeah, the A site defense, whether it's a spike plant or a spike prevented plant, they are just getting better and better at defending. And so we're in the final round for the first half here. And already we start things off with Lawrence getting a shot, killing the breach. So initiating is going to be a lot harder if you don't have those flashes from Ghana.
That is brutal, isn't it? Like, they already starting at a huge deficit in the final round on this side. Now, how do you fight back here? Like you said, you know, you kind of need your breach to actually invade an area. I guess it's just up to Jet throwing down a cloudburst and tailwinding in and hoping everything works out.
Yeah, normally it's that Jet breach combo that actually makes it so strong. The flash combined with the tailwind updraft, cloudburst coming down that creates enough chaos to where the crosshairs for the opposing side might not be in the right spot. But this time around, without the breach, there's going to be a very quiet move into A. Note that A is pretty much naked, though. I think they were pretty confident there would be some kind of an attack into B or C. Not the case.
Ooh. Love that Hunter's Fury there. Actually does get a pretty decent hit on it. Everyone else dodges, though. All right, Buzz coming up from A long. They have the Cloudburst up in heaven. Down comes the fault line. Doesn't even try to dodge it.
Don't forget we had Rolling Thunder used last time to break into this. So this time around, pretty good control here, mowing down these AP players. Easy peasy.
Harry really giving them the business right there. And that is that. MUYAHO will take this final round before the switch.
Yeah, nicely done. Good for them to try to get that a little bit more evened out in the end.
Yeah, 5-7. Okay.
Not bad. They actually did clutch that final A site. A site was actually completely open for them to take.
You know, at the very beginning of our season, we saw on Haven the attackers doing very, very well. But as we've gone towards the end, definitely the defenders have done better and better. So I feel like the 7-5, this is not something that MUYAHO can't overcome.
I mean, well, let's think about it like this. I mean, the only thing that's closer than this is 6-6. I mean, this is almost even right now.
Okay, this is going to sound like I'm making fun of you, but I never thought of that.
Yeah, you didn't think of that
I
one.
never thought that the only thing closer than 5-7 is 6-6.
It's 6-6,
You're right, that would literally be a tie.
Yeah, so this is
this is like as close as you can get to a tie without being boring or bland.
That's right.
Is what you're saying.
This is like a tie, but spiced up a little bit.
Yeah, I take it back. I am making fun of you, but your point stands.
So we are in the halftime here for the map Haven. We're going to switch sides, which means that we're going to have APE Prince trying to plant the spike and MUYAHO trying to prevent that or defuse it. But this has been a really exciting and close set so far, but we do have it where one team, once the side switch happens, can start to dominate. But again, looking back on that match, so much attention on to A. Over 90% of the match was about the A site.
Yeah.
So I want to see if there's going to be maybe a little bit more diversity as far as spike site selections here from APE Prince, or if we're going to see this actually concentrate even more. It's just, you know, C and B are more afterthoughts, harder to obtain, harder to control in the view of some of these teams.
Okay, Cloudburst going down as they start to rush up to A long, but take it a little bit slower now. Looks like we have 4 frenzies on the defense.
Let's point out the 2 different agents on each team are the Cypher for the defense now and the Killjoy for the offense. So we do want to watch, just like we were looking at the Killjoy to see where her utility was placed to identify what's probably the least accessible site for the attacking team. We want to watch and see what kind of trap Cypher is set up as well.
Yeah, I like how he has set up, right? He's got a trap wire in the little tunnel going towards C, and then his cam in B. Nothing else in B, so he can just check that at any time.
So they hear the L drone.
Yeah, no, he didn't check his camera, and actually we have a jet rotating up around Harry right now. And look at that, gets the kill. Big move from Lawrence. That's Harry's fault. He did not check that at all.
Yeah, and now as the C site's under attack, Cobra gets the kill here on to intro. Spike being planted now as we see MUYAHO scrambling to try to defend this area in the pistol round. Flash is going out. 10x with a kill on Cobra. How about kills Ghana? Slash takes out 10x, putting the first win on the board, this time for the attacking team, APE Prince.
All right, look at that. Winning that first pistol round with some style. MUYAHO, it feels like it really fell apart when, you know, B was completely empty aside from the spy cam. And Harry simply didn't check it. He was really focusing on those mid doors, and that's what's going to happen, right? They're getting into a position they're literally not even supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Like, Jet is not supposed to be way over behind everyone on your side killing people.
Yeah, and the Cypher was not...
What is she, a bad omen?
She was not prepared at all.
Yeah.
You know, the Jet got in there, and the Cypher immediately shot down, and then the defense... And it's tricky to defend all 3 areas with pistols, you know?
Totally.
But they got it, and they did it. Now they've got the weapon advantage. And on paper, at least, we would expect the attacking side, in this case APE Prince, to take another round, putting this 9-5. But we'll see if maybe MUYAHO can engineer a comeback.
Well, MUYAHO, they're saving pretty heavily this time, Tasteless, and they've already lost 1, so I don't think so, but we'll see.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Lawrence just destroying people.
Lawrence somehow not really taking damage either. 18 shields, 84 HP, considering there were 3 players with scopes at you.
Not bad, for sure. Well, this is this has been a pretty clean victory.
I think they just barely don't have enough time for the spike plant, but trying anyways.
Can't have everything.
But I think risky plays like that are necessary in the second round of the first or the second half, because you know you're probably, if you try to just each cover one spot, you're going to lose. So why not try to do a heavy push down A long? But then they lost that as well.
Let's see a little recap here, how that went down.
Yeah.
How they got massacred by Lawrence. By the way, I gotta say, I like these little scenes where we get the recap, but also you see all the information of what's happening.
What's better?
Kudos to whoever invented this layout. This is is beautiful.
This
really
is,
well done, whoever you are.
This is serious improvement.
Yeah.
On the as far as the spectating experience goes. So we've got a push into garage, but there might be just a little bit too much, too many reasons to not go in there with the dark cover. We had the recon bolt. Now, this is a game where the defending side does have phantoms. They can pretty deftly set up different positions and attacking in. Again, you're not going to know exactly where you're being shot from necessarily when it's all phantoms here.
Yeah,
So if they take unusual angles, it could be pretty difficult for APE Prince to move into.
Totally, and APE right now, they've got like Bulldogs and Spectres and stuff, right? So it's a little bit more difficult for them. They're trying to find a way in right now. They're rotating as a team pretty heavily. Looks like they're going towards A once again.
40 seconds on the clock. Pretty patient here from APE Prince. I think they realize if they can actually swing this game, it's going to be an easy ride to the finish line.
Yeah.
But they need to be very careful.
Well, the Owl Drone's coming down, so they see them coming. They already have 3 there. Rotate in real quick here from their Omen is going to give them a ton on defense.
Okay, a push in now as one of the APE Prince players has already been picked off in the firefight. It's now down to just 2, and soon no more. 6th win on the board for MUYAHO. I do think on some level, you saw the Cypher there at C defending and not a peep on that side of the map. Over on the A site. And look, I know that there's 3 spike sites on this map, but a lot of times teams just don't go for B. You ever wonder if maybe the 3rd round in the second half, that might be the site to go for, since they seem to be almost trying to hard counter the obvious spike site when they didn't see anything happening. And just a little bit over 30 seconds of a push on to C, they said, all right, let's everybody just go to A. That's where they're going to go. And they met them there and won.
Well, let's see here. APE pushing down rather quickly. Oh, they actually flashed Jet, ran in, killed Jet with the ulti, but gets picked off. So Buzz does end up falling there. 4 versus 4. It's a no-fly zone. All the Jets are down.
Whoa, this will be the best dad joke I've heard in the Valorant cast. Okay, Cyber Cage set up here now as he's just trying to buy some time for his teammate. They don't want to give him too much control over the upper half of C, but they do peek and confirm that there's nobody there. The Omen going to be ready over in Connector with the rest of the team probably going to be pushing through the Omen dark cover.
Oh, sees him coming because of that alarm bot. Beautifully done by Halbe, but does get picked off as he comes around the corner. Now Harry trying to defend it from long.
Okay, it's hard to imagine that JoJo would win from here, and he does not. Bumping the score now up to 7-9. MUYAHO defending and starting to get back into control this time around. But they're going to have to keep that momentum going, and ideally what they want to do is not just win, but be able to win and actually keep as much of their firepower with them as possible and armor as possible.
For sure.
So now we go into the moment where APE Prince is buying the Sheriffs.
Yes.
And so this means they basically can't afford to get quote-unquote real guns this time around. But we've seen teams manage to succeed with this before.
Yep. Like shields and sheriffs for everybody, it looks like. Maybe a Bucky for Lawrence, looks like he's considering.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon for a Jet player at all here. But the ideas at play here, certainly one where it's expected that MUYAHO wins this, but it's actually not okay if they lose it. Okay, because otherwise the other team gets to farm out their guns, their weapons.
That's very true.
And completely turn the game upside down.
Yeah, that is such a big deal that we don't talk about enough, I think, is being able to pick up your opponent's good guns once you kill them with crappy guns.
Obviously most significant if you have an APE.
Yeah.
Some maps, some situations like an Odin or something.
Well, the APE is crazy expensive. Did you know it costs 5,000 credits?
It's crazy.
I feel like I got to be a gun dealer in the Valorant world, man. I would sell ops for like 4,500. They'd be flying off the shelves.
You'd run out that place out of the market, man.
Yeah, what are they doing? I know I can make them cheaper than that.
So, a push into garage, but there's a Cypher Omen crossfire setup here.
Ooh.
And this is completely muting any progress made over here by APE Prince. Shut down, shut out, and now the 8th win here for MUYAHO. But, again, it's expected. They were they were trying to just go only sheriffs.
But now they don't have to buy anything.
They were like, this is our town. It's like, oh, bro, there's 6 bullets in that gun.
Yeah.
Only cowboys use that thing. See this? This is a silencer.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they didn't even take 1 bullet hit. Nothing hit them.
No. But that's the exact kind of win they want to have. boosted in resources, denied as far as spike plants go, and now is the round where, at least equipment-wise, it's more realistic for AP Prince to win this, but if they don't, it's 9-9.
And suddenly it's all tied up. I mean, that's looking very realistic right now. The flash goes down, and actually Lawrence gets flash running in, so maybe a little bit of a mistake there. Hunter's Fury coming down and absolutely massacring. What is that the greatest Hunter's Fury of all time?
It looked like it.
Oh my god.
By the way, Intro's position was so sick over there. It completely mutes the setup jet. Was trying to get to Cloudburst up on the box and get set up.
What was that?
Shot down, and I think one of our shortest rounds as far as real buy-ins go.
I'm not even really sure what happened. I just know that Sova got angry and like everyone died.
There's no way you could play-by-play it. You have to just bang pots and pans together and try to capture what you saw. Yeah, so there it is. The shutdown on the box. Get out of here, and then it's just Sova laser beams just nuking this.
Yeah. Jeez. That was sick. I have to write that one down when I use my Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, you brought a super laser to a gunfight. So 9-9 here.
And peeking down A.
Again, the buys are perfectly fine here for APE Prince, but they need to really get control of the momentum that MUYAHO has here. And there is a jet peeking over at C. We're not seeing it yet, but this could be huge because this could open up one side of the map for either team, depending on who gets killed. Nothing happens.
Doesn't quite get him there,
A small skirmish there, and then the jet fled back to C. But that also shows that not the entire team was not concentrated over at A short or A long. Now they're going to be pushing up into B, I believe. That doesn't mean they're going to plant there. They could push through that into C or maybe even into A.
Cypher does have eyes here. Look at this. They're actually both breaches going ahead using their fault lines.
They've got both sides covered on Babox. Whipping the shot there on the Omen, who's going to get a plant set up here for B window. And this is actually quite a headache now for MUYAHO, because they can basically hang back and then pop out of corners. Oh my god, and with Lawrence back here like this.
Well, it does eat a bullet to the face there and gets taken out, but it's 4-on-4. They have that plant.
Okay, now this lockdown, I don't think they can prevent this.
No, it doesn't seem so.
And so now they're going to try to come in here and dive on top of the spike. Okay, we're getting a shot of this now.
I think that was a nano swarm that was underneath it, the way that she was going,
Yeah, and so the spike will go off. A victory there for APE Prince. Actually, a pretty close fight there, but I think they definitely had the right idea. You guys could see if you put the spike pointed out towards that opening.
You know, much easier to defend than if you're standing there around a box, like trying to stop people coming in from multiple doors.
Exactly, and basically, you know, you'll see spike plants where they're all inside the site, trying to cover people from getting entry.
Yeah.
And then there's plant setups where you're actually hanging, like almost, I guess lurking is maybe the word, but hanging back, waiting for audible cues to then come in and interfere with the diffusion of the spike.
Yeah.
And so I think a great setup there, and you know, we maybe have one of those in a map, a B site plant. I don't know if we're going to have more here. It's 9-10. Not much more map left here as far as rounds go.
Well, looks like they want to push C long, but Jet waiting on top of the box here with that off. Oh my god, but the updraft does save the opposing Jet there. Lawrence getting into the site. Quick runaway from Buzz.
Yeah, and it looks like this spike site kind of ran away from them. MUYAHO not really in control. They're going to try to come back and get control of it now. There is plenty of Killjoy utility set up. The Cypher right now can't be used that handily to try to break into this point.
Ooh, Cobra actually eats a little bit of that. Dies as he comes around the corner. Buzz and 10X getting some strong kills there. Still, JoJo and Slash, though, trying to defend from C-Long and C-Cubby.
Yeah, they planted for C-Long, but the Cyber Cage now is set up here. They can't quite get the angle I think they want, and the defuse is going to go down.
Look at that, just constantly throwing smokes over him as well.
Now, I do want to point out there are things that could have been done, maybe, to try to interfere with that. We didn't see the Sova bolts connecting to interrupt with the Cypher.
Yeah, they were shooting into it a lot, but they couldn't see it, right? Between, like, the Cyber Cage into double Cloudburst, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, but one would imagine you got to almost as it's planted, like as a team, you got to know, okay, this is exactly where we're going to put it.
This is how we interrupt.
This is how we do it.
Interrupt twice, and this is how we interrupt 3 times.
This is how you can maybe.
Was he out of his shock bolts?
I think we saw a shock bolt go down. No, I think we actually saw one. Or maybe it was actually the defending team. Perhaps I'm wrong. But yeah, there weren't the usual interruptions that you would expect to have there. And so it's 10-10. This could easily go into overtime.
Yeah, it's really, really close right now. Now, we have Garbo guns here for APE. They're on Sheriffs and a Judge, pushing into B rather quickly. We haven't seen them utilize this strategy as of yet.
It seems like immediately they've got the read on this, as there is crossfire set up in so many different angles here. They get the flash. They may try to push into A short, actually.
A lot of blinds coming through, and immediately a couple defenders go down. Now it's 2 against 4, but we have a lot of damage here on APE.
Oh my god, spike drop. 10x reloading behind the corner.
2 against 2 now.
It's just 2 Sheriffs against 1 now.
That was a very low health Jet, so makes sense. A lot of damage just put out as well there against Halbei. Halbei hiding behind. Oh man, out comes the owl they see.
Okay, barely missing that shot here. Halbei, you can't be too hard on Halbei there. You can see the Jubilee here from MUYAHO.
Yeah, the Jubilee.
The Jubilee.
Yeah. The greatest of the X-Men.
Yeah, that's right, the most powerful of all the X-Men. I'm not even sure what her power was. It was like
Sparkle Hands.
Sparkle Hands.
Yeah. Almost fireworks, but not quite.
I call this damage glitter.
Damage glitter.
So it's 11-10. MUYAHO could absolutely take this. Great kill there at the end. You can see Buzz so happy.
I tell you, Jubilee's so weak she can only get assists. All right.
Okay,
have
Buzz.
the op here staring down A long.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that location.
Yeah, you could like shoot in between the bottom cracks of the box. Oh my god, that almost shot off the Killjoy's head.
That would have been crazy.
Good ideas there with the Sova and the Jet with the op. Look at those legs. You know how hard that is to do? You ever tried squatting?
Dude, it's crazy, yeah. Her abs must be ripped.
Yeah, very good core. And so, MUYAHO is really banking, if there's a push into A long, and there is, getting a pick here at an angle that's kind of a weird one here.
Well, it's already 5 versus 4, right? So, I mean, they can sit even more comfortably now. Now, it is a big infiltration headed towards A long, and...
Oh! Shot Cobra dropped the spike. 10x gets the kill there on Lawrence, as the attacker side is thinned out to just JoJo. And now JoJo more like no. And so MUYAHO says...
MUYAHO.
Yeah. Now we've got actually 12-10. So we need to have clutch play here. Look at the serious faces on APE Prince here. Now, it's been so close. But funding-wise, let's look at the guns that are going to be purchased here for the attacking side, APE Prince. We're seeing the Judge, Phantoms, Vandals. It's not the best. They're not as
You got to do what you
strong.
can do.
Yeah. This round is everything here, or all progress is going to be lost. Good escape there by Buzz. 38 HP, but narrowly gets back into the comfort of the A site. Another gathering, not going into the B site exactly, but at least peeking garage and perhaps rotating around.
It looks like only Cypher over in C, so this could be a good move.
Well, the Cypher, sometimes you'll see a Cypher hanging out around that upper area of garage. I think they see that there's nobody there and are going to try to do a 2-3 split to push into that area. Just getting confirmation with the Alv drone first and foremost and seeing it's pretty much empty, with the exception of course, the Cypher and his utility. But they've actually sounded the alarms over here on the MUYAHO defending side. They've scrambled down towards C, are ready to defend.
And I like this. They're actually rotating towards B while the C window is being held by their Jet with the Judge around the corner.
Yeah.
This is a clever play.
And if that's going to be a point to try to spill through for that team, they could be in for some hurt. They come in here to B, seeing that's in fact pretty much naked, getting the spike plant set up here. The Jet's going to come from behind with the Judge, getting 2 kills. Lawrence, an absolute beast, takes out Ghana in intro.
Yeah, steals the gun as well. That was beautifully planned by APE Prince. That was awesome. They waited until the action began, and then Jet comes out from behind and just massacres.
And now it's down to just Buzz and Harry in a very difficult spike site to really ever control, especially when you're outnumbered. The angles are so many to try to cover. And a big win there. APE Prince clutches that. I think that might be one of the most strategically impressive rounds we've had for the entire map.
That was cool.
I think they
really
got a very
it.
good setup. I think having the Jet come around with the Judge and get the kills was essential. Here's a shot of that right now. That dropped the count to 2, and really, it's very hard for the defending side to then reclaim that.
Of course, yeah. Well, they just got a little bit out of position. They did make it seem like they were going down C.
And by the way, APE Prince really with a much more diverse set of spike site plans when compared to MUYAHO here.
You're definitely right about that.
Oh my God.
Ooh, Halbei taking a lot of damage there, almost dead. Halbei sitting down, A short. Looks like she's getting ready for the lockdown.
Oh my God, 10x with the Odin, sprays down. 2 players, Buzz getting the op kill on Slash, and I don't know if there's going to be enough real opportunity here to actually take the A site.
Well, it's 2 against 5 with a very injured Halbei, so I definitely would agree with you on that.
It looks like they might get a quiet plant over here. Fakes the sound.
Honestly, Shock Bolt can kill Halbei easily. If he even nicks him.
And this is going to be just 1 player left. Cobra, and a 1 versus 3 is picked off. And a beautiful victory there on the defending side from MUYAHO. A back-and-forth series.
Yeah, that was close. That was closer than I thought it would be, honestly.
I agree, yeah. I thought the same thing.
They were playing out a very strong game there, especially in the beginning, but MUYAHO, they found their stride, and by the end they were looking stronger, which I actually am almost more impressed because I felt like Buzz's opping was not what I'm used to from him.
Yeah,
It felt like he was missing a lot of the shots that he normally hits. So the fact that they still were able to take it, I think speaks really volumes about their team.
I was actually going to say the same thing.
Really?
Is that, yeah, that when you watched the number of times that there was an op setup to get a kill, and then it was like a shot whiffs and the tailwind away.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you're right, the rest of the team did clutch that, did deliver, is impressive. But talk about each round being so significant. I love that second to last round we saw there with the spike plant onto B to try to actually get us into overtime. Didn't end up happening with great play in the end. And I also love early on using the Sheriffs to actually overcome in a huge weapon disadvantage. Taking back that C site. Very impressive plays. Overall, very close. It is a best of 3, mind you. So we have at least 1 more map, maybe 2.
Oh, look at this stat. This is interesting. Headshot percent, slightly more for APE. The damage, quite a bit more for MUYAHO. 11 fragments versus 5. And yeah, APE actually with more objective wins. Which maybe does point towards what you were saying before. With the more diverse planting sites and whatnot.
Yeah, I think both sides played each, I should say both teams played each side of the map very well, by the way.
Well, it looks like it was almost all diffuses, though, now that I'm looking at this.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess we didn't have
it was
a ton of detonations.
Yeah, well, it never went off, actually. It was just diffuses. Oh, it went off 1 time?
So, I guess the one thing I'd want to be a little bit critical about MUYAHO, I know they won, but if I had to, it did seem to get a bit redundant with only A-site plants. But then again, sometimes there's some real brilliance in doing that, where, you know, you've gone A-site a couple times, and especially at a professional level, the other team's thinking, okay, they're going to be going for another play here, but pretty much exclusively going for that A-site.
Yeah, it did seem that way. Maybe that's going to be one of the maps that they have a harder time on, but they chose the map.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting, too? Like, if you choose the map, but you, like, know you're basically going to be going A almost all the time.
Yeah. And I'm curious how much of that is pre-planned versus, impromptu. Based off how the previous round went and what people are identifying as far as patterns of movement on the other team, really.
Well, MUYAHO can be happy with themselves. They picked up that first map. Very, very important. Coming up next, it's going to be map 2 on Ascent.
We'll be right back, guys. Don't go away. More Valorant just around the corner.